Beep, beep, beep. Morning. I've got itchy nose. God knows what's up with the bloody thing. Itchy. There's always something wrong when you get older, isn't there? I get up in the morning, I used to think, oh, what shall I do today? I get up in the morning, I think to myself, what's going to stop working today? Thus is aging. A tremendous, tremendous thing, he says, trying to convince himself. How are you? All right? This is just a bit of a rant, right? I fancied a rant, so I'm going to have a rant. I'm ranting at everybody. I've noticed some really peculiar things, and I thought it would be a good idea if I laid my cards on the centre table. I find it very strange how we view others at the moment. Don't know why. I've seen a few things. Can't pinpoint it. Don't know why. One of those things that sort of, you wake up in the morning, it's on your mind. So I thought I might explain where I come from on this particular issue. And that is the issue of things like safeguarding, right? A duty of care. All that cobblers, right? So now safeguarding isn't cobblers. It's the duty of care that's cobblers, but safeguarding certainly isn't cobblers. Safeguarding is there to protect people who are vulnerable, or particularly to protect people who are children. A child is anyone who is under 18. Safeguarding has its own particular language, its own particular argot. Safeguarding has a set of rules and regulations, and safeguarding is the primary lens when dealing with children. It has to be. Okay. What I hate is the creep of safeguarding. That's what I hate. What I hate is when the language of safeguarding, the argot of safeguarding, becomes distorted and perverted. What do I mean by that? Well, I've covered this before, but I'm needing to do it again because I'm seeing this constantly. The word grooming only applies to under 18s. You can't groom an adult. You con an adult. Now, the reason that I say that, and I've said it before, I'm saying it again, is because to allow adults to think that they've been groomed rather than conned abdicates them of responsibility for their lives. You can gaslight an adult. Adults can be gaslighted. Haven't we all been gaslighted in our lives by other people? But you still have to put your hands up and say, I was gaslighted. Because you're not a child. That's a cold, hard truth. You've got to take responsibility for your life. And I've noticed a lot of this going on right now where, this young person, because they happen to be 20, or this young woman, because she happens to be 21. If you are 18 or over, you are an adult. That's it. I make absolutely no distinction in how I expect that individual to accept responsibility for their lives if they are 18 or if they are 50. And neither should you. If you are 18 years old, you are an adult, which means you're fair game for the harshness of the world like the rest of us. Now, the fact that we've not prepared people to be that is not my problem, and it ain't yours either. So like many things, it's something that I don't pay much attention to when it comes to holding somebody responsible for their actions. Does it mean that I might spend more time talking and explaining to somebody who's younger? It might be because they are younger. They need to understand something. But it could just be that it's any person who doesn't understand a particular thing. But I will not stand for, well, they're only young, therefore they don't know. No. No. I'm not standing for it. Right? If you're 18 years old, you are responsible for your actions. And it's when you're not held responsible for your actions that the problems begin. And I mentioned earlier on Twitter, I think it was about last week sometime before I was ill, that, we have not yet seen the full horror of what infantilizing is doing, the infantilizing of an entire society, which is what we've been seeing for the last 30 years, the smothering and the coddling of an entire society. And much of that is being done under the banner of the duty of care, an organization's duty of care. Now, a duty of care, as far as I'm concerned, should be, don't have slippery floors without a sign, health and safety, physical damage. That duty of care is now extended into the realms of the ridiculous, and it needs to go. A university does not have a duty of care other than health and safety. Now, it does. I understand you're going to go to me, yes, but it does. Of course it does. I'm saying it shouldn't. And the same goes for the workplace. That's it. They don't have a duty of care for their mental health of their staff. If their staff are unwell, they go home. It all has to go. That's what I think. So let's start the damn conversation. I'm intrigued to know what you think, obviously. Of course, I always am. But What is it? What? So what? You know? Oh, I'm not well. Go home. You come to work, you do your job, and you go home. That's it. Nothing else. You know, these big public sector organisations and these big corporations, which are all the bloody same thing, really, funded by government, too big to fail. Well, we've got our affinity groups, and we go, well, this is the staff network for this, and this is the staff network for that. No, none of it. Absolutely none of it. Come in, do your job, go home. I can't do my job. Why? Because I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by women who won't shut up about the fact that I'm a man using the women's toilets. Well, go home then. If you're not well, go home. Well, I want an hour to spend to practice my religion. No, off you go. Go home. Come in, do your job, go home. There should be no duty of care. Somebody at university is struggling, they're 18 years old. They struggle and talk to their friends, or they struggle and talk to their family. The university shouldn't be stepping in like some weird parent. It's absolutely insane, all this nonsense. You're on your own. At least that's what I think. Come on, scrap with me. I don't want to see it. So, for example, with this I Kissed a Boy thing, which is still ongoing, I feel sorry for this poor young girl. I don't feel sorry for her at all. She's a bloody predator. What do you feel sorry for her for? She's 18 years old. She knows what she's doing. She's over 18. She knows what she's doing. Right? The weird thing is, I imagine the crowd that think that people are over 18 should be treated differently because they happen to have a few years less or a few years more than you are the same crowd that would be upset because somebody who did something horrendous when they were 10 weren't held to account. The hypocrisy is staggering. There should be no duty of care other than health and safety. And even that should be minimal. Minimal. If we don't start doing what we need to do over the next 25 years, I don't see much fun being had in the future. And that is to reduce the state to as small a possible an entity as it can be. Minuscule. That's what it should be. Absolutely minuscule. And then deal with the corporates, whose power must be curtailed, who must be broken up into separate units. That's what we need to do. Oh, that's communism, says everybody. It's not. That's us protecting ourselves from the state. Corporates are the state. Corporates, the state. Those two come together, that's fascism. And while we warble about, yes, but there's a duty of care, and apply the word vulnerable to people that aren't vulnerable, it's just weird. It's weird, coddling, smothering behaviour. Cut it out. Rant done. You can go back to hating me now. Come on! Put them up! I'll see you later. Bye.